my third ever show was opening for Justice in Glasgow.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. And then everyone back home thought I was killing it. Meanwhile, they don't know that I got paid for that show with a 12-pack of Heineken. I had my friends set up on the train about 5 stops earlier. Uh-huh. And then we told everyone to meet at this stop. And then the idea was like, once it rides up, we'll just mob the train.
Powertools.
It's Powertools, and we got Felix Cartal in the house. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
Oh, I'm awesome. I mean, you just released an album, I Sabotage. How does that feel?
It's like a sigh of relief in a weird way.
Right.
Yeah, it's nice to have it out.
But this is like your 5th album. I mean, you're an expert. When I saw that you had 5, I was like, 5 albums?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
And then I looked in like, you started off, you dropped an EP, then put out a single, and then said, fuck it, I'm doing an album at the very beginning of your career.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always just loved albums. That's how I listen to music still. Like I'm always wanting to hear what the artist wanted to do from beginning to end. I'm not a playlist guy. I never really get into it. I mean, once in a while, but.
So early in your career, you're like, I'm albums.
Yeah. Because I grew up in bands and stuff, and I always just came from that world where in my head I was like, that's what people do. You make records. So.
And speaking of bands, you were in a punk rock band when you were like in 7th grade. Yeah. You're in Canada. What is a punk rock band rebelling about in Canada?
Well, in 7th grade, I'm sure it was nothing of importance. That's for sure. I think we were just mimicking like punk bands we liked, thinking we had a message when we probably didn't, to be honest.
What were some of the bands you were listening to back then?
A lot of SoCal bands. I was listening to NoFX, Lagwagon, Anti-Flag.
Oh, you're listening to real punk.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've actually just got tickets for the Offspring and Bad Religion tour coming through Vancouver.
You're still in it.
Yeah, well, not actually, but I'll go see like the OGs once in a while. But
wow. And what instrument were you playing in the band?
Bass guitar, and I was singing, but not well. And then that's when I realized I need to get out of this band because I can't sing.
Do punk lead singers sing well?
Fair point.
You might have fit just right in.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of got the bug for electronic music at one point when I found Justice and Boys Noise, and that felt more punk rock to me at the time.
Right.
So that really
was very rebellious because the sound you hadn't heard before, as opposed to guitars, you're playing it.
100%.
So you hear these big synths, and you're like, how are they doing this?
100%. And it felt very DIY. Like they were sort of making what they could with what they had, and that was punk rock to me.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you start producing, and you got like your first break where a blog, like they posted one of your unreleased songs?
Yeah, I sent it to this guy at the blog, actually. I was just messaging him because I liked his blog. He posted cool stuff. I was like, I like your music that you post.
And this is in the blog era, of course.
It's almost like just when it was starting. So it wasn't a thing
you were
yet.
cooler before. You say you were in the blog. You're trying to tell me you were in the blog before blogs were.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No, it wasn't. Because blogs, when I first was following blogs, they were just posting records that were out on labels illegally. They were rips.
Got it.
And then they would start to post some from up-and-coming artists, and this guy said, well, what do you do? And I'm like, well, I make a couple beats, and he's like, send it through. And he said, this one's cool, let me post it. And I wasn't even really trying to network in that way.
Right.
He just kind of asked, and I didn't think anything of it.
Had you started to DJ at this point? No.
I'd never DJ'd.
You're just making some electronic music.
I was in college.
Right.
Yeah. And he posted it, and it got a cool reaction online. I think it got 10,000 downloads or something stupid.
Wow. And then because of that posting, didn't Mastercraft reach out to you?
Yeah, I posted a few more on my MySpace. This is how old I am.
Okay.
And Mastercraft reached out because he heard one of the songs.
On MySpace?
He reached out on a message board that I
it.
got invited to, but Aoki messaged me on MySpace.
Got it.
And they were both playing a couple records that I made.
So you had, even before you're learning to DJ, you're sitting in Vancouver, Mastercraft is playing your song, Aoki's playing your song.
Yeah.
This has got to be
Well,
Crazy.
It super crazy. Also, Aoki at that time was just throwing parties too. He wasn't the Aoki machine.
Right. He was just doing Cinespace and stuff.
Contributing so much to the dance scene and sort of booking everyone who was who's who. But he hadn't become the celebrity Steve yet.
Right.
But yeah, it was. I mean, I was just in college and I had never DJ'd, so it was blowing my mind, obviously, at the time.
And then, when did you get your first booking to go DJ?
So I moved to Glasgow for school, and then when I was there, I started
Glasgow?
in Scotland.
Oh, okay. I was thinking somewhere in Canada. Okay.
I was doing a semester abroad there, and I just befriended some kid who wanted to be a booking agent, and he just started booking me shows at clubs there. And my third ever show was opening for Justice in Glasgow.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. And then everyone back home thought I was killing it. Meanwhile, they don't know that I got paid for that show with a 12-pack of Heineken.
But it doesn't matter.
My response was, "You mean I don't have to buy tickets to the show?" And they were like, "Yeah, you'll be playing." And I said, "Great, let's do it."
That's and I get to stay and hang out after I play?
I did not. They did not give me a green room. I did not meet them. There was no networking to be had that night.
Wow, man. So you're at the beginning, this is kind of like, I won't say fast tracking, but your music is moving with the blog era. And then when did things get serious for you where you're like, I'm going to start putting things out on labels? Is this soon right after?
Yeah, I think that was probably 2007 or 2008. And then I think my first album was 2010. So and Steve signed me to Dimmak, so I put that out on Dimmak.
Nice.
And had a long relationship with them and did a couple records with them.
Right.
And then after that, I signed to Major and sort of the next chapter of my career and started doing got songs on radio and stuff like that too. So
right. So when I discovered you was I think it was 2011 when you released The Joker and The Riddler.
Yeah.
I mean, I rinsed those tunes. And I went back to listen to them earlier today and I was like, oh, this shit is still fucking good. This is hard. My question is, when did you go from crafting great tracks to then writing great electronic songs?
I kind of feel like I hit this saturation point in my brain where I sort of felt like I was out crazing my previous songs, where I would try to, what's the most shocking thing I can do on every drop? And it kind of felt, I call it like Jackass theory. I'm like, well, what's the next Jackass movie? Like, what are they going to do? Jump off a cliff?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I kind of felt that way about production, where it sort of felt like I could see the obvious endpoint of just trying to make the most extreme drop. But, I grew up in bands and I wanted to go back to songwriting. And then from there, I sort of, I just got really into collaborating and then got to write with all these amazing vocalists and learned so much about songwriting from all these people who are about it. And yeah, that was such a developmental. I mean, I still feel like I'm doing that. I just want to learn to be a better writer. That's basically it.
Did writing songs with the band kind of also help out in this new chapter?
I think so.
Because you understood verse, chorus, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus.
And I think just you learning to collaborate with people, because you sort of, it's like a push and shove. You don't want to. You don't want to be married to your ideas so much when you're in the room with someone that 100%. You're stubborn, Right. 100%. So, I think I kind of changed my philosophy when I wrote with people, saying, "Let's make a song that we both like, and then if no one likes it, at least we like it."
Right.
And that sort of served me pretty well. So, it's kind of relieved some of the pressure of trying to make a hit or something.
Right. And when you started that process, did you feel fans were like, where's the drop?
I don't know. I never felt like I had this massive fan base anyways, but I still think I could always DJ that way too. So, my DJing evolved, and just because I was experimenting with different things sonically, I think my DJ sets have always maintained pretty high energy. I just like playing that way. So a lot of the times when I would write popular stuff, I would remake the song in a more dance floor crazy way to know it would work in my set.
Stuff.
Exactly. And actually on my newest album now is sort of the first album where I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want the songs to just work on the dance floor.
Amazing. So like you've also won like 2 Junos, which is like Canada's version of the Grammys. I mean, that's pretty amazing. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, the first one I won was during COVID. So no award show, nothing. I think I was yeah, right? No, I got to watch it on YouTube, but I was in my apartment with lights. We went out for our song "Love Me," and my parents were there. And the video of me in lights freaking out is my parents filmed it. Actually, super wholesome. It was honestly better because sometimes the Junos are in like these weird Canadian cities that I don't want to go there.
You're on the other side, Vancouver.
Yeah, it's like Canada's so like nice that we're like everyone should get the award show. Right. And then I won. Was it last year? Yeah, I think for "Need Your Love" with Karen Harding, who's Karen's amazing. She's I feel like she has the best house music
100%.
voice. She's so good.
Yeah.
And I was in Miami. I wasn't at that award show either. And I was about to DJ, and I got the text from Karen being like, "We won." And I was like,
nice.
"All right, you're screwing with me." And then I had a few people at the award show, and they messaged me as well, and I was
so you missed both of them.
I missed both of them.
Okay.
So I think I have to not go to win.
That's awesome. Now, you obviously grew up in Vancouver, Canada. How has that affected you growing up in Canada, in Vancouver, or influenced you as an artist?
I think, there's like a pace to Vancouver that's pretty chill. It's like, I feel like it's a place where I can really sort of hunker down and get kind of locked in. Mm-hmm. Like I love writing, because I think with production, it's sort of like a 2-pronged thing where I write a bunch of ideas. It's sort of like a mini writing camp that I'll do with myself and other artists. Mm-hmm. And then I get to come home with all those ideas, work through them. And I love Vancouver for that, because it's this place where, I don't know, I don't really feel like distracted there too much.
Right. You don't have 10 different shows to go out to on a Saturday night.
Or just like the city can kind of be quiet even though it's still a city. You know what I mean? It's like a big city, but it's a small city at the same time. Vancouver's weird like that, And then I don't know, like I love the seasons that we have, and there's like I love the rain and things like I like those things. They're inspiring to me. A lot of my records I'll have like rain samples just like laid underneath, because like sonically I feel like that's sort of a part of me.
Wow, that's very cool. Let's talk about, speaking of rain, your new album, I Sabotage. I mean, it's your 5th album. Album is super cool, but it kind of has a melancholy feel to it, which I think is really, like, you don't hear a lot. You hear it in dance songs, but not as a whole album, and I found that very cool. Talk to us about the inspiration for the album.
I think I sort of believe that songs have more emotional weight if they're sort of more melancholic. Mm-hmm. I think those feelings translate better musically and visually, and like if it's like dramas hit harder than comedies, kind of like emotionally, I guess would be sort of how I would frame it. And but I think it's like melancholy with like hope, sort of. Right. Yeah, it's not just dark. But I think like when you're writing things by yourself a lot and finishing things a lot, there is a lot of like self-doubt. Mm-hmm. And is this good? Is this gonna work? All those things. And I think that's why I called it I Sabotage. I kind of just wanted to make it about that. And, when I bring that up with different writers, it's a feeling that I think they all can relate to pretty easily.
And what I really love about the album is that it has a lot of organic instruments, like Sabotage and Mouth of Madness start with a guitar, Dancing in My Dreams start with an organ, No Air starts with a piano. Was this a conscious effort to bring into like some organic elements into this album?
I think so. Yeah, I think, I was really conscious about sort of each song having its own world. And I think, you say Mouth of Madness, Ophelia has such a soft voice, but it's beautiful. I think she's so underrated. And I think that kind of like pairs really well with the acoustic guitar.
Right.
It's like an intimate feeling that I would love to try to translate. I want to try to bring out the best in each of the vocalists, and same with Rev, who has the church organ at the beginning. Right. She has such a big, powerful voice that I'm like, well, what goes well with that type of voice? Church organ is the penultimate of that. So I think my job as a producer is to hopefully elevate the artists in showcasing what I think they're the best of them can be, so that they're excited about the record. And honestly, some of the, I've worked with Lights a few times now, and Voxria on this record, and Rev, and they've all asked if they can like play our collab at their show too. And to me, that was sort of really nice. It was the ultimate compliment, I think.
So my favorite tune on the album is Nothing Like This featuring Charlie Wilson. I think that song is so good. The horns, the piano. Talk to us about the inspiration of Nothing Like This.
It's the opening track on the record. It's Charlie Houston, sorry.
Oh, Charlie Houston, my bad.
No, it's all good.
Right. Actually, Charlie Wilson's from the Cat Band. Maybe I just wrote that down.
And yeah, she's from Toronto. I heard her on a Odessa record, actually.
Toronto. I don't know if you know this, but I was born in Toronto.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, but my mom moved to LA when I was 9 months. Whole nother story.
Do you have dual citizenship?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah, sweet.
Right.
Toronto's great.
Yeah.
Are you a Jays fan?
Huh? No, absolutely not. I can't claim anything from Canada.
All right, fair enough. So Nothing Like This. I think, I wrote that song and knew it would be the first song on the record. It just had that feeling. And I wrote the sort of initial idea with my friend Whitney Phillips, who's a great writer.
Oh, I know Whitney. Yeah, definitely. Dope. Yeah. Right.
Her and Liza Owen, we sort of fleshed it out together. And I kind of, as being a DJ and a touring artist, there's so much traveling in my life and so much kind of like those introspective moments where you're alone on the road.
Right.
And I think that's true for just a passive traveler as well. It doesn't have to be a musician, but I kind of didn't really feel like there were songs about that. And, there's this theory called the Traveler's Paradox, where when you see more of the world, you get bored with your being at home. So to cure that, you travel more, and it makes it worse.
Right.
And I thought like that concept was really interesting to me. So that was sort of like the ethos of that song. I just wanted it to feel like you're going out into the world and you've like seen things that have like helped you like become who you are, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. And I just felt like every song I try to be like, oh, that's a cool idea, but why isn't there a song about that? And if I can find that, it helps.
Interesting. And how long does it take for you to put an album together? Like this album, is this a year's worth of work, a year and a half, 2 years?
Yeah, it's probably like 3 years, I would say. But it kind of depends. It's not like 3 years of working on it every single day.
No, not every day. But like 3 years ago, you said, I'm going to start working on this album.
I don't even think it's quite like that. I think it's more... So I'm just going to always be writing songs, and then sometimes you sort of get a group together, and then suddenly I'm like, okay, I think there's something here thematically, and then from there it'll start to inform kind of like the rest of the album. Because I am such a big believer in like a no skip album. Like that's the goal, right?
Right.
Who would try to write an album with please skip half my album? It's a shitty goal. So I think it has to come from good songs.
Right.
And a lot of the time I think you need to sit on songs for a while to see if they have staying power. So,
Good point. See if you still like it 3 months later.
Yeah. And I have songs like that I've come back to where I'm just like, there's something about it that I have to finish this, and that can take longer than I want to, or it can be sort of a brutal process sometimes that is hard to get them finished. But
is it hard to get them finished because you're trying to finish the idea, or is it more hard to get them finished because you're so picky with every little nuance?
I think it's both, maybe. Yeah, I think because produced everything. I mastered everything. Like I'm the only producer on all these records.
That's crazy.
And I don't know. It's something I take great pride in it, but I also think it's my sort of kryptonite at the same time. Like it sort of holds me up sometimes. I think I'm a little bit of a control freak in that aspect that I would like to work on that maybe a little bit more. But it's also what I like. It's my passion, and I enjoy it at the same time, as crazy as it makes me feel at times. But I think, yeah, I don't know. It's like trying to finish records. I think, too, sometimes you'll produce a bunch of songs and then you'll have an idea you love, and then suddenly, sonically, that one doesn't feel like it fits anymore. And then you are reworking the first record, and it's this weird
now
dance.
You're chasing your tail.
Yeah. But sometimes the payoff is worth it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. One of my other favorite tunes on the album is No Air with Faye. I mean, that song is really, really deep. Talk to us about the collab on No Air.
Yeah. I wrote that song when I was in Berlin. I had never written there before. I'd only been to Berlin once way back in the day for a show. And my publisher had a studio out there. So I was like, I need to get out of the country and write somewhere else. So had a bunch of sessions. The studio out there was amazing. Like Richie Houghton's studio is like in the same building, and all these legends. And yeah, we just wrote in that room. Thea and Aaron was the other writer on that song. And yeah, I don't know. I think we just sort of wanted to write something a bit spicy. Like it's kind of like I don't know how to describe it, but it's sort of like a climactic song in some capacity, which is something I don't think I'd really tried before. And I think the initial version of it was very upbeat and like didn't have sort of that melodramatic angle to it. And I changed the chords around, and then that's sort of where I ended up. And it really kind of, my friend said it reminded him of a Radiohead progression. And then that was a very I'm like, I don't want to. That's so nice. I'll take the compliment.
That is awesome. So you're obviously from Canada, and I have a question for you. Who would you put on your Mount Rushmore of Canadian electronic artists, excluding yourself? From Canada, just Canadian electronic artists.
Wait, how many people are on Mount Rushmore again? 4?
Yes.
Oh, it's tough.
No, it's a tough one.
I mean, I have to put Deadmau5 on.
Right.
It's who else is going to be on there for Canadian?
Maybe.
I think Caribou.
Okay.
Because I feel like a lot of people don't even know he's Canadian.
Right.
And I think he's just done some really cool stuff. Like his Daphne project is also fantastic.
Right.
He's one of my faves. Oh man, it's so hard.
And these are your faves, not who you think are the biggest, but your faves on Canadian. I mean, you have like Richie Houghton, like there's.
Yeah.
I mean,
Richie Houghton's great. I think like Tiga's like been pretty influential to me over the years.
Right.
I mean, Mastercraft was a big influence to me. So
is Mastercraft Canadian?
Yeah. They're from Toronto.
I did not know Mastercraft was.
But that's 2. That takes 2 heads though, so that kind of my thing.
No. The 2 heads can go on. No, 2 heads can go on as one. I didn't realize Mastercraft was Canadian.
Yeah.
For some reason, I just thought they were French, like Justice, and okay.
I think Rez is doing cool stuff. It's so hard. Now I'm just thinking of everyone who's great. There's so many great artists. I mean, I think Lights could be on there. I think a lot of her records are really electronic, and I think she kind of pushed that electro pop sound way ahead of everyone else.
100%. She was ahead of her time.
I don't know. That's not a great answer.
No, those are good. Those are good. I just wanted to, from your perspective.
That's a tough one on the spot because I could think about that for hours.
Right. Now, so leading into your album, you ran a 10K every day for 30 days leading into your album release. Who came up with that idea, and are they still working for you?
Can you fire yourself?
You came up with that idea.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Talk to
I
us
think
about
if my label
that.
suggested,
Fun.
if my label suggested that, I would be like, "You're out of your mind." It has to come from
right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me and my friend have that joke. We want tattoos that say "I hate my boss" because we're self-employed.
Right.
But yeah, it was. I think it was, it's because it's my 5th album.
Right.
I wanted to do something that like made it build up in a way that felt like, because you sort of play it up in your head. You're like, oh, the album's gonna happen. This thing is you're gonna build up to it. But I also didn't want to just make a countdown and be like, hey guys, only 29 days of my album. Hey, 28. Right. So I wanted to do it in a way. Well, one, that would keep me focused, it was great for that. I felt like very dialed.
You'd have to be dialed to running 10K every day.
Yeah. And then 2, it just kind of became this thing where sort of halfway through I thought, oh, I could invite people to come on runs with me, because it felt weird filming just myself.
That's my next question. So the people that come on runs with you, did they run the whole 10K?
Well, some of this is Hollywood,
Right.
Yeah. They all ran with me. We, some of them some of them had prior commitments and they could only get a couple K in with me.
Right.
But no, it was nice of anyone to like, because it was fun getting people out of their comfort. I'm by the end, the joke was it was hot ones where we're putting the guests in a state of like discomfort,
right,
and then asking them questions, which is kind of fun.
Amazing, which could turn into a podcast.
Exactly. Well, my one friend said, you've tricked everyone into going on a podcast.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, I tricked myself into starting a podcast.
Awesome, man. So what is the rest of 2025 and more importantly 2026 does Felix Cartal have cooking?
Honestly, I'm kind of just I'm working on a bit more music, to be honest. And I'm kind of just gearing up for a bigger 2026, because I did a massive tour at the beginning of this year.
Right.
So it felt a little bit strange to do 2 tours in 1 year that were big, because I did like a 30 or 35 date tour at the beginning of this year. So kind of just like laying low and playing a few random shows. I'm in Miami for Halloween. I'm playing some weird LA after hours tonight, just for fun, and in some back to my roots and the warehouse vibe. I don't know, just kind of like having fun doing some random things. We might do a couple pop-ups and gearing up. Right. Honestly, so I want to rest.
Right. So you did a couple of like, I forgot where it was at, some random crazy place. It was on a subway.
Yeah, the SkyTrain in Vancouver, which is our above ground subway.
How did you get away with that?
The Canadian police are way too nice. Honestly, yeah, we didn't even ask permission. We just sent it, and it somehow worked out. It was we were as shocked as everyone who asked me is.
You just did it. They're like, oh, cool.
Yeah. Well, I had my friends set up on the train about 5 stops earlier, and then we told everyone to meet at this stop, and then the idea was like once it rides up, we'll just mob the train. And
just started playing music inside the train?
And I just walked in with my USB and just went in it right away. And the SkyTrain security, or the SkyTrain cops, we call them, were there. And I saw them talking because there's a crowd building up. And I'm in my head, I was thinking, oh, we're so done. It's so over. So I walk up the steps. There's 800 people waiting.
Right.
And only maybe 150 can get on this train, maybe.
Right.
So I walk up to the cop and I'm like, hey, I'm the guy doing this thing, I guess. And he said, okay, well, we'll try to let everyone on safely, I guess. And I said, great. And they were just kind of fine with it. I mean, it was pretty shocking. And then when I got off at the final stop, the other SkyTrain cop comes up to me. He's like, are you the guy who DJed? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, you need a security escort out of here? And I was like, yeah, man. Canada. Yeah, man, sure. And he's like pushing people out of the way. He was living out a fantasy that night, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. Well,
very nice.
Get some
Shout
rest.
out Canada.
We're looking forward to next year and some more music and the album is super, super cool. Really, I mean, you're crafting songs, like when I'm listening to it, you're crafting real electronic songs, and that's hard to do. That's hard to do, and you're doing a great job, man.
I really appreciate that. That's very good. That's very kind.
Powertools.